Guys, it's Marcus here with Leather Learner. This video is going to be a continuation of the leather wallet that I've been working on. I've decided to separate this video into a few different parts because of the length. Starting out, I want to apologize for not getting this video out sooner. I simply underestimated how long it was going to take to shoot and then also edit. So let's get into the project. Basically, I wanted to go over quickly how I'm making each of these pockets, what it looks like first, start and then finish. Basically, you got a line half-inch from the top because I want a quarter-inch overfold. You got quarter-inch for the line, quarter-inch another line, and basically I make these 45, cut them off. The reason for that is simply look at this one, the cutoffs makes it easier. So then when I go to actually sew right along this line, along all the pockets, it won't be quite as bulky. There'll only be one little piece that'll be a little bit more bulky, but it'll be easier to sew versus having this piece added. Makes it that much thicker of a piece that you're trying to punch through and sew through when you're going to do your stitching. But so this is like a finished product, basically what it would look like. Simple single stitch kind of through it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first line. I'm going to take this groover tool, and even though this is chrome tanned leather, it's pigskin, chrome tanned pigskin, and it's already really thin. So we just do the grooves simply to make it easier to fold over and glue. Basically, you want it to be like the quote-unquote weak point of the leather, so it allows it to fold over easier. And then what I always do is I come back this way with my stitch groover, and I come this way on this end. The reason for that is because if you try to start like this, because of how thin this leather is, it wants to just lift up on you. It works best when you're doing this. Edge is closer to you. Simply come at it in that direction. So roughly about 2 passes or so. You don't want to go through the leather. If you go through the leather, that's a big no-no, obviously, because then it would show through on this side. Starting out here, I'm tying the first stitch and going ahead and sewing up these pockets. Or not pockets, but the top edge of the pockets. And fortunately, a lot of this was captured outside of frame, so I'm just going to speed through this. So now that we've got this left side done, I kind of want to just go through it step by step, exactly how I did it with the right side pockets. So starting out, very first thing we did is we've already glued. If you look, it's glued. You know, this isn't just falling off. We've glued it just along this line here, and this line is basically our first pocket line. We'll go ahead, punch this, stitch it, glue the next one down, wait for the glue to dry, punch it, stitch it, and repeat. Since we're going to be stitching along these edges, we want the stitching that's going this way not to be interrupted by the stitching that's going this way. So we'll come over a good 1/4 inch and then we'll start our stitching. Again, we want to stay about a 1/4 inch away from the edge. So now you can kind of see that this groove is where the stitching will now go. So that way it sits down, so it's nice and flat. Another thing is after you've gone ahead and put the groove on the backside, your holes sometimes get collapsed over. So what I like to do is just take this and kind of just press it in, just to reopen back up the holes a little bit. Now we got the first pocket put on, so now we gotta take, it's gonna be our next pocket. And if you look at this one, you can even see it's kind of warped from when I glued it and I folded over the edge. I probably went maybe a little tight on my stitching and it caused it to kind of warp. Here's where we want it to sit, and right here's the edge of the upper pocket. Ideally we want our stitching to go right in here. So what I do is I usually just make a little mark. Now I'm just eyeballing these stitches. I won't need that piece for a little bit. Going through the first hole. And basically you want equal amount of thread on both sides. So how I do this is when you look at the diamond, I'll take the first needle, bring it through, bring it all the way, pull it all the slack all the way up until it touches the leather like that. And then what I'll do is I'll look and I'll see that based off the diamond, this thread that I just put through needs to be up and towards me. So on the back side, the string on the back side, this is the needle that I just put through. What I'll do is I'll hold it up and towards me a little bit, and then I'll take the other needle and I'll go right through that hole. And the very first stitch is usually the hardest. And repeat it. Oop. basically go through. I don't know how well you can see, but basically this is where we want the position of this side so that the stitching lays correctly going across, because when I come through on the front side here, I want my lacing to end up on the top corner here so that the new thread that comes through will be on the bottom left corner every time, so that way it's consistent across and it doesn't look odd. But we'll stitch this up real quick. So again, I'll pull it through. I'm pulling up and towards me. So now I got a little tension on that. Now I'll take the other needle. I'll go right through that hole. And now I can pull it tight. When that's done, let's see if I can't rotate this. If I can get the front side of the view. Essentially, it's finished. Now what I'll do is I'll take this needle from the front side here, and I'm just going to finish by going through this hole here, because I want to have my not so good looking part on the back side here. Basically, I got two ends. I think they call it square knot. I don't remember what the name of it is. But then what I do is take these two. Alright, so gluing on the last pocket here, and if you'll notice I'm using super glue. The reason for that is you're going to have to be punching through this along with all those other pockets, and the tacky glue is just not quite stable enough in my opinion to get through all those layers. The super glue maintains a stronger bond compared to the tacky glue. Made a light pencil line where our stitching is going to go based off of how the opposite side pockets are going to be. Now we're just going to take an owl and kind of mark out this first stitch a little bit. And now because of if you look where, if I was to go like this, my next punch would land like right on the edge of the seam. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is cheat it with a single punch, go just above the seam. Again, I would be right on the edge. So instead we'll cheat it up. So now if you look, I mean, there is going to be a difference here. It's not going to quite be the same stitch length, but at least you're not splitting the edge of the time for stitching. Now I know that there's a missing clip about stitching all the
pockets together on the one side. And not sure where that clip ended up, but just wanted to make that clear, so in case you're wondering why it's jumping to this next step.
You can kind of see the bevel there a little bit. Now I'm going to smooth out that bevel a little bit more, kind of make it more of a roundish kind of a edge there instead of so flattish. Now I'll just kind of try to smooth it out again. It's a much smoother edge, not so sharp like